Sisters, it's your brother G World 7_D. Yeah, man, I'm out here doing my thing. You know, I feel kind of muggy outside. Rained a little bit, but gotta get in and put in the work, brothers and sisters. Put in the work. Put that exercise in. Put in that work, man. But I want to make a quick video. Summarize some of the stuff I've talked about before. Like with the Cleopatra thing. You know, these bastards, these descendants of invaders are showing how they truly are and how much they despise our people. I want our people to stop caping for these other people, man. Stop caping for these other groups. Stop sit there. And that was the problem with Jesse Jackson, that Rainbow Coalition mess. He always talking about black, whites, women, people of color. I mean, shut up, dude. That talk is very damaging and destructive. Them other groups don't give a damn about us. We just need to focus on ourselves. Stop including these other groups, man. And that is a problem with a lot of these black integrationists, like Sloppy Messy Jesse. That is a big problem. And we're going to continue at that problem when you continue to cape for other groups. And this one I'm going into, a lot of you Aboriginal black Americans. We have been taught to worship Africa, a lot of us have. And that has been a very strong miseducation, and some of you need to be deprogrammed from that. Because whenever we try to disseminate information telling you about so-called black people and where they were at globally, you're going to have these Negroes who are going to put up a fence, man. They just can't believe it. I had one person come on my page talking about, were all the Yamasee black? Yeah, they were black. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, they're black. But see, some of my people can't fathom that. And I believe that was a white troll. His name was OJ. But some of my people weren't trying so hard to seek Caucasian validation. And that is a big problem. We cannot worry about how they feel and what they think. We got to try to stop trying to seek their validation for our self-purpose and worth. You know, that is something that we got to stop doing. And the fact is that we got to stop allowing foreigners, including black ones, because you hear a lot of them in New York, particularly for that Amon-Ra squad, telling us who we are. That Garfield dude, you can tell he has a lot of hatred towards black Americans. Like I said, that chick, I Am Alejo, she has a lot of hatred towards black Americans, particularly black American men. She's extremely ignorant, man. But you get Negroes who support her. That is an ignorant chick. I just picked them vibes up from her and Garfield, the Jamaican midget. And not all Jamaican brothers rock with that clown like that, but he's a perfect example. He needs to stay out of our business. But he won't, because we have allowed that mess of that outsiders to speak on our issues. Most of us, a lot of us know who we truly are. And we don't need Umar to sit there and tell us that we're African. We need to identify as an African people. No, we're not African, man. And these Negro scholars who keep pushing that, said you're ashamed, nobody's ashamed of themselves, man. You Negroes are ashamed to truly identify who you truly are. But the Pan-African stuff gotta go, man. It has worked at a disadvantage to Aboriginal black Americans. It has not helped our people out. It has not. It has basically hindered us from true progression for us here. We need to focus on us here. We need to build on us here. Stop running other countries talking about building schools and everything. We need to do that here in America. And I don't even pay attention to these Negroes who sit there and say, well, black Americans, this and that, you're a failure. I mean, really? You Negroes fled your countries. Don't come there with them. Yeah. And you benefit off of what our people built and done in this country. See, here's a problem. And I'm not one of the people who's gonna blame all so-called baby boomers for our problems. Because there were some, man, so-called baby boomers who fought against the rhetoric and that integration nonsense. It was the fact is that one group was plucked out, the integrations were plucked out and given a stronger voice because they're viewed as less threatening towards the ones who did not believe in integration. There's a lot of people who did not believe in integration. They knew they was wrong. But you had the other segment who white liberal media gave them a platform and funded them and pushed them. And they pushed their message. Their message, them Negroes' message, the main thing is so they can, to integrate, main thing to them is to lay up next to white folks. That's so they can live next to white folks. That's their main goal, man. And you would speak to them Negroes, they still talking that integration mess. But you had a lot of brothers and sisters then who was fighting against that. But like I said, their voices weren't heard, man. Their voices were muddled out. This is why we do need our own true media, not no like that Black News Channel crap or even BET. We need our true media not ran by the boule. And the boule is a big problem in our community. The boule continues to give us that same tired-ass narrative because those Negroes want to be in good waters with white folks. They want to continue to get that pat in their head by these white folks. They continue to be accepted by these white folks. And they continue to believe in that rainbow coalition nonsense. These are some goddamn traitors, man. These are people who sold you out. And you know what's that? Them same Negroes are against reparations. And you know, I'm all for reparations, man. But you gotta stop calling yourself descendants of slaves. Once you identify being indigenous or aboriginal to this land, that gives you more ammunition to demand reparations, telling they stole your identity. You keep saying that you're African, you're saying that you're a foreigner. You're not a foreigner. We're the only groups that are not a foreigners are here. We were here before there was a so-called, what is now known as the United States of America, all right? But we've been here. This is our land. Most of us did not come over with slave ship. I know it's hard for some of you to believe because you go to these damn colleges, man, these predominantly white institutions, or these historically black colleges and universities that's teaching you that you originated here as a slave. That's a lie. And most of these teachers are either white, other non-blacks, or black foreigners. And I'm gonna call them out, man, for that mess, man. I know this because I went to school dealing with a lot of them teachers, man. They're extremely ignorant to black history. And unfortunately, a lot of your black foreigners do not know true black history. They're basically getting their information by looking at some crap they see on television, or they might go to YouTube, but they really don't know black history. They don't know the diversity of black history here in so-called North America. They're extremely ignorant to it. And that's a problem. I'm sorry. It's a problem that we have. And so we're gonna have to take hold of our history, grab our history. And don't allow these charlatans to continue to steal our history. This is something that's a must. This is something that must be done. This is something that we need to do. We need to take hold and control our history. Take hold and control our history and love our history. Take pride in our history and honor our true history. And do not allow, like I said, foreigners to dictate who we are. All right, now let's kick this right here. When I mentioned before the Pelasgians, those are the original black Greeks. And what happened was that around 1200 BC, you had your white invaders who came in and invaded, which saw the great the black civilizations over in Greece. But you have to understand is that they were absorbed, and I mentioned this before, the white people today are not descendants of them white folks. They're descendants of the one who came in like AD. All right, like 49, 50, 51 AD. That's the white people of today are from. So they're not even from them. They were floodgates coming out of Asia, so they was coming from Central Asia. So I'm saying this now. When I listened to that goofy chick, that African Dominion chick, and she made the stupid ass statement saying that all black people are African, but yet then she had another one talking about there's white Africans. So you can be a white person be from somewhere else. You're not indigenous nowhere, but you can be from somewhere else. You can be that. But if you black, you just an African. What ignorance, man. And this is why people like her should not be speaking in our history or culture. She shouldn't be running her mouth. She's one of those foreigners that I talk about, who's just ignorant. One of those foreigners with a dark complexion, who's just ignorant. And she shouldn't be running her mouth. This is something that we in the community, man, need to take hold to. They need to realize that there are people who may look like us, but they're not us. They're not us, and they're running their mouths. And that's an idiot who's running her mouth and don't know what the hell she's talking about. But I digress. So, like I said before, you had some of those black rulers, like I mentioned in this other video, start taking in those pale women, those wives. There's pictures of this, paintings of this now, that shows you this. Taking those pale women as their wives, man. And that's what started out the slowly bleaching out process of those regions, as well as some black people were fleeing out of there because there was so much of those white people being pushed out of Asia. All right. Another thing that you need to understand, too, brothers and sisters. Oh man, excuse me. Another thing you need to understand, too, brothers and sisters, is that when you look, I told you, when you look at a lot of those statues, they fake. One of the reasons you can tell that they're fake, a lot of them look too damn new. Those little fake marble statues of the Romans and Greeks, that's fake. They look too new. And when you look at it, you can tell there's no age to them. Or they're not aged real old. You can tell that's fake, man. And then, like I told you about Hannibal, he tried to show this fake painting of Hannibal, but the real images of Hannibal, you can see on the Carthaginian coins, they look totally different. So they come up with these fake images, man, to create a fake-ass history. And they've been doing it for a long time. But unfortunately, so many of our people worship these bastards. They are degenerate, lying devils. And I'm telling you right now, I'm straight up with them, man. They're degenerate, lying, pacifophobic liars, man. They're pacifier liars, man. My nose gets kind of stuffed up, man. They're nothing but liars, man. What they have done has been atrocious, man. But so many of our people do not understand or want to understand the truth of who you're dealing with. And you have to understand that. You must comprehend that. You must really break away from this deep self-hate, man. I talked about the other video that I did about the black people in Florida and how these white writers talking about white women and whites and all them stuff, and blacks and Indians built Florida. The Indians were black, dude. And so right there, they're doing a separation, Indians and blacks. The Indians were black there. So you got to understand this, man. This is the type of trick that they use to write you out. That's why the term African American, all these goofy ass terms, they're not good for our people, man. They're very destructive. So you have to understand that. You got to stop using those goofy ass terms, man, because you're making yourself constantly, I say this, as a foreigner in your own land. Anyone who's still telling you that you are a descendant of African slave or talking that African diaspora crap, man, you look at them for what they are. They're traitors. Now, you can say, like I said, a black diaspora, fine. But an African diaspora? No, man. Ain't no African diaspora. Not with us. Because we're not African. Stop trying to make us something. Try making us foreigners on our own land. And then, you know, when they come up to you and ask you, where you from? And you tell them, hey, man, I'm from Illinois. No, where you from? And you break it down. I'm from Illinois. You tell them that. Or my people from Mississippi. No, where you from? No, my people from Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, Illinois. And you let them know. You be stern about that, man. They want you always say that you some kind of lost puppy from Africa, man. Please. Please. And I'm going to do something on the Salk Sauk Indians, man, Fox Valley. Because you had like Sauk, Illinois, Sauk Trail, I mentioned this before, Sauk Village, Illinois. Those Indians were blacks in the Midwest, man. In the Midwest regions going to Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan. I think I showed you a piece of the book that talks about the Fox Indians. Like we have Fox Valley region in Illinois. I talk about the Fox Indians, man. I'm gonna talk about that soon, sometime this summer. But back to what I was saying. Don't let these fools, man, tell you who you are and allow them to control your narrative, even if they have the same skin tone as you. You can't allow that, man. You must take hold and grip of all your stuff. I may do a video later on today. I haven't decided what I'm going to do, but I may do one later on today. Not today, tomorrow. I always say that. I'm going to do me some reading, definitely, either today or tomorrow. Just do some reading. Yeah, brothers and sisters. When you start doing the real in-depth research, you'll really realize what we contributed to this world and what is ours. Like I said, we built the railroads. We built all these mounds in this country. That was us. That was us, brothers and sisters. That was us. When you attend those southern universities like Louisiana State or even Ohio State, and you see these little mounds, our ancestors built that, man. You don't need to go to Africa. You have it right here in America. But you're going to have to understand who you truly are and stop saying you're a descendant of African slaves. That's what these white folks want you to believe in. And yes, the first white people who came into the Americas, into Africa, were slaves. All right, you did have white slaves brought over here. They were sacrificed. I showed that in one of my books before. You had white slaves that were brought over here, as well as non-black Asian slaves, and they were sacrificed. So when you hear Negroes talking about you didn't have white slaves in America, you just had indentured servants, that's a goddamn lie. You did have white slaves over here. You did have white slaves that were being brought over here. That's a damn lie. Don't believe these Negro historians, man. Don't believe them. Do your own research. You had white slaves that were brought over here, and they were the retainer, sacrificed many times, of the black rulers who ruled here in the Americas. You had white slaves, period. The black empires had those bastard white slaves, and they, like I said before, they were sacrificing them. All right, brothers and sisters, man. Do your research. Continue to do your research. Do not listen to these Negro historians. Many of them are not of your true bloodline. Many of them are foreigners themselves, and they're trying to dictate or write your damn history. Learn your true history, brothers and sisters. Do not listen to outsiders tell you who you are, no matter what shade they are. Learn your true history. All right, brothers and sisters, man. This is Brother G World, man. Out here chilling, did my exercise, and I'm still do some more exercise, man. Keep that body looking tight. All right, brothers and sisters, man. I love you. Peace and love. Peace, peace, peace.